The time is 7:42. It is the first weekend of October and prime season for a pumpkin patch. Matt Nicholson, I'm trying to mix your two names. I'm sorry about that. Is here to welcome you to his. He owns Oak Hill Tree Farm, a member of Indiana Grown. If you missed it, we were talking an hour ago about everything they have to offer: a zip line, a huge slide, everything out in Crawfordsville.
That's right. Yep, about an hour west.
Okay, a lot of fun times and huge variety of all kinds of pumpkins. So my thought is, you know, we are still most of the month from Halloween when a lot of us are decorating for, but also we like to try to get through that whole harvest season of decor. So if we're getting pumpkins now, what can we do to make sure they're still there?
So I brought this one because it's 6 weeks old. So they store very well on their own. Now we're going to talk about some things you can do to maybe make them last a little longer, but we do a lot of things throughout the season to make sure they're healthy that you shouldn't really need to do any of this until you carve it.
I was going to say, that looks really good for 6 weeks. I mean,
yeah, so it's stored in the shade, so it doesn't get direct sun, and it's not put on concrete. So if you do those two things, they can really last.
What's concrete do to it? Because my patio porch is concrete.
It'll dry some of it out, and it's not the end of the world to set it on concrete, but if you're putting it out in September, you probably maybe put just a little barrier between those so that it doesn't dry the pumpkin out.
Okay, maybe buy a hay bale for even more decor,
there you
right?
go.
Sit it on
there
top
you go.
of that. Okay, but the kids get home from your pumpkin patch and they're instantly wanting to carve it.
Right. So the first thing is, this is just your standard bleach, and you can dunk it in a bucket, 1 part bleach, 4 part water, leave it for 2 minutes, and that's the gold standard, and that's going to take care of everything on the outside. If you don't have a big bucket, just take a sponge, 1 part bleach, 1 part water, wipe it down good, get all the dirt off.
Okay.
And then once the outside is dried off, you can spray it with like a polyurethane or even just hairspray right out of the bathroom, and that'll kind of seal it up once it's dried off.
And what are we trying to just like keep anything moisture from getting in and wreaking havoc?
Moisture, or there's all kinds of things that want to decay any sort of, you know, vegetation that will land on there. The other thing is, once it's carved, if you keep it somewhat dry and you don't put it in the heat, it'll last a week or so. But if you seal it off with Vaseline or anything else, you can make it last a couple weeks after it's carved. So take that pumpkin, carve it, let it dry inside, slow, cool, dunk it in a bucket of bleach, 4 parts water, 1 part bleach, leave it there for 2 minutes, pull it back out, let it dry again, and then seal it with Vaseline or any sort of oil. You could use vegetable oil, anything like that, just so that the things that want to get in there and kind of decay that pumpkin can't, and then so that the water doesn't come back out. If you want to go a step above, you can get Wet and Forget from any hardware, spritz it around in there, and that'll last quite a while.
That's great. These are really good tips. So, but maybe it would be good, especially it's October 3rd, you know, maybe spread out the fun of the season. Go ahead, go to the pumpkin patch now, bring it home, enjoy the decor for a while, and wait a couple weeks to carve it, and then use these tips and tricks. So Matt Nicholson from Oak Hill Tree Farm out in Crawfordsville. Go see him. Sounds like a really fun time. I kind of want to try the zip line myself. But we appreciate you coming in this morning.
Well, thank you very much.
It was great to learn all about what you have out there. 7:45 is our time. Marcus, it's perfect weather for this.
I learned something. I didn't know anything about sealing and all that stuff. That's interesting. Good stuff there.